What made you leave from Atlantic and sign what you doing?
It started out with, wait a minute, man, and I had to call the office, and I had to call my mom and say, I was like talking to Pharrell, and I'm like, yo, this the single. And Pharrell was like, yeah, it's the single. I mean, I'm waiting for you to put it out. So I had to call Atlantic, and they was like, it's not hot, and you know, it's not cool, and we don't believe in this record. And so I was like, well, what do I have to do to get the record out no matter what? Y'all want to go with this other thing and put all the money in this side. I want to do this. It was like, well, if you want to do that, then we'll give you, like, you know, an excursion, and, you know, you just go promote it on your own. We'll send out a little vinyl here and there and do what it do. But it did what it did. And so when it did, they tried to come later and tried to catch up to it when everybody else was ready for another single. They want to blast off with this for another 5 months, and it was just like, just the belief wasn't there from the jump. So I was just like, I need to get, you know, my own thing popping, because I felt like if I could take, you know, an excursion and some vinyl and just a crew with me and go out and put the song out and it's all over the radio, then why do I need a major label? You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like building my company like this, and now we got the tour bus, and, you know, I got, you know, the team, and I feel it's stronger now. And, you know, I feel like with the same movement and just reaching out to everybody like this and just, you know, continuing to mash every day, hitting all the states, it could happen no matter what.
And always know Hotline has your back.
Already.
Y'all know the difference between an independent and a major. See, he can make his own decisions. When you with a major, you can't make. I mean, you know, it's all about what they believe.
Yeah, you know what I'm
by
saying?
you being independent, you know, you can call your own shots. You can do what you believe in, and then they try to come on later, but that gives him more power.
Plus, you can.
So when they do come to it.
Plus, you could put out like more singles, and like when you with a major, they put out like they want, if like your first single don't really do right, they want to just stop the whole album most of the time. It's like album's done, their 2 years of work's over, go in and do another album. Like that's how they mostly look at it. And and if you really don't have no pull, sometimes you just the artist on the label, you can't do nothing. And you just there. So it's like, hey, you go through a lot of stuff. That's why I'm happy to have my mom in.
Yeah.
Sometimes no matter what, when your folks is just like, look, we're not taking this. It's not going down. They feel that, then they start to respect it, and it's good to have somebody that's going to just be straight to the point with it, because the whole industry will try to get over them. You know what I'm saying? If you say you want, if you say you want, you know, 100,000, they might give you 100,000. You know what I'm saying? But if you ask them what should I get, they'll tell you 5G. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about your team and how hard you gonna go for it. And that's why, you know, I respect Sonya now, because, you know, before I even started, I remember with her and Brand, she was telling everybody, Brandy gonna blow up, Brandy gonna be a star, and they was like, yeah, it's cool. And, you know, everywhere from the NAACP all the way to all of these little just talent shows they went on, and to see it elevate from nothing to something, I mean, anything's possible. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they didn't have no backing. Like, before Brandy and my mom came, it wasn't nobody. It wasn't like Brandy had, you know, Brandy's brother. I mean, you know, she didn't have no hookup. So, you know, they started from scratch. So anything is possible. You know what I'm saying?
But I want to add something to that, because a lot of people think that you've had a silver spoon placed in your mouth too. But this company he's been talking about since he was 13. Knockout Entertainment is something that he's been, and he chooses when he wants to be the CEO of the company. He is the CEO of the company, but he chooses when he wants that responsibility. And I'm really proud of how he has garnered his group together, and they all stick together. The same guys that are basically sitting around like Shorty Mac and Daryl Cooper and DB, they've been with him ever since he was smaller. And Ed Moore, they've been there with him since. But the independent game is different. I've never experienced anything like this in all of the days of my entertainment life. It's a struggle. It's very hard. But if you believe, like I believe in him, and if you believe in something, you can overcome something. And finally, if you sell 300,000 units on an indie, it's like going gold on a major. And if you sell 500,000 on an indie, it's like going platinum on a major.
Put it like this, my man Lil Jon was killing the game.
Yeah. It's the bottom line. Anything you do, always remember, it's always the bottom line.
How important is charity work to you?
Charity work is really important. Because that's definitely giving back to the community, and it's definitely showing a power outside of the label and of who you are, you know what I mean? Politics in general, man. I mean, when you get into charity work and stuff like that, you're not only giving back, but you know, you're really making a statement for, you know, CNN you know, news and all of that. They come out for that type of stuff. So it's real important that when you build in your company to give back to charity, do something for Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, you know, slide in and do that, and then you call up, you know, the local television and say, look, my company, we're doing this, we're giving this to the kids, we're building our new label, and they'll come out and support. That's another way to get inside, to get your name flowing, to keep it going. You know, that's real big. At the same time, you helping people.
Do you think it's easier or harder to get into the music industry compared to when you first came in?
Oh man, it's way harder, man. It's way harder than it was. Well, it's always been hard, but it's hard, dude. No matter what, no matter how you know how you may think it is, it's still hard for even me. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot. You know, everybody don't take your phone calls. Everybody don't say yeah. You know, like right now we going through a situation with Fat Joe, where Fat Joe is like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna clear the record. So you got a record out, and it's like, you don't want to clear, so then you got to take the record off, and it's all kind of, you know. So it's hard no matter what, man. You just got to keep striving at it and just bust through the door. You got to bust through the door and find that opportunity. And if you really believe like you're ready for it, you just can't stop.
Hey, for those who would like to own their own record company, become a producer, and also work as an artist, which do you think that person should focus on more?
If they are the artists?
If they are the artists and they also want to produce and plus have their own record company.
I would just focus on the art first. I would focus on the music and the talent first, because that's what's gonna sell. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got a few times where you can have a strong team, where they can make something sell no matter what, and that's a good thing with a major. Sometimes they buy the CDs. So sometimes when you see people out selling all these crazy numbers, the label is actually buying the CDs back to build hype for you to go, whoa, he just sold this much, I gotta go buy the CD. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, when you got the talent and the artist and it's just golden, you gonna go far. Nora Jones is an example of that. The song was a demo. You know what I'm saying? It got on radio somehow and it leaked, and you know, 8 million. Well, hey, one thing I want to say though, man, believe in your own team though. Don't look at somebody else's team and try to hop on their team and try to hop on their board. Do your team with your crew, whoever your zone, your folks are, roll with that, because it's like you try to follow some or try to catch some other drift and you leave everything behind. I'm telling you, man, go with your team that you trust. That you go out.